I'm HybridFoxKid and welcome back to the Blocks SMP. Today we are in the base once again because today's episode is the finale episode where I do a bunch of reflection, looking back, tours around the base and checking out of my season statistics. But first thing I want to do is I want to officially dub my base. So, as you've known, ever since I built the hippocampus back there, I've been debating on a name for this base and I never really addressed it. So it happened only a couple episodes ago where I decided to stick with a specific name. I always gave this town the code name Waterstep, purely because I did want to name it Waterstep, but I wanted to name it something else. So for example, how Honeycomb Ridge is Honeycomb Ridge. Waterstep, I never actually thought of a third word for it. I don't know, Waterstep just didn't sound as grand to me, and honestly, nothing ever came. So you know what? I'm going to officially dub the base Waterstep. So yeah, this is the official naming and the official goodbye of Waterstep. I know, it took so long for me to come up with a name, but I just totally forgot to actually tell you guys what I decided to name this place a couple episodes ago. But enough about naming the base on the final episode. We need to do a bunch of reflection on what I did right in this base, what I did wrong with this base, and what I can work on in later seasons. And you know me, I'm really rambly when it comes to anything off the top of my head, so I'm going to throw you to Future Hybrid where she knows exactly what she's talking about, and I'll be back in a sec once the tour's all finished. So, Future Hybrid here, time to go on a little bit of a ramble, say what I liked about this base, what I didn't like about this base, and what I want to work on in future seasons and stuff like that. So, first things first, let's talk about the things I do like. Just want to say straight out the gate, I really like how this base turned out. I really love the color palette, and I finally got around to being able to use the warped netherwood, because ever since that came out, I never had the chance to use it, and it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous block. I've always wanted to use it, and I finally got the chance to. Same with Prismarine as well. I never bothered using it because I never wanted to make a guardian farm. Finally got down to work, made a guardian farm, and got to utilize those very pretty blocks. I'm very happy with that one. And yeah, I just like how this base ended up turning out. There was a lot of different things I wanted to do with the base when I was initially planning it. One of them being having an actual pattern in the water streams itself. So what I was originally going to go with, because I was using Venice and Altissia as like a base of what I was going to form my base as, I wanted to kind of go with like a pattern, like a tree. I was thinking about yin and yang, but I'm like, there's nothing to do with my base that's yin and yang, so I wouldn't use that symbol. I tried really hard to think of something, but I just decided to not go on that idea because since I was segmenting the base in build stages, it wasn't really going to form until the very end, so I decided to put that on the side and be like, you know what, it's not that necessary. If it comes to fruition and something cool comes out of the pattern, sure, I'll do that, but I'm not going to stress about it too much. But I do like how the base looked from like a bird's eye angle in its final result, because it actually does look surprisingly nice considering how basic of a shape it is and how relatively small it is. And that's one thing I want to say, and that's a good thing to segue into, because this wasn't originally the size of the base. This is actually considerably smaller than what I originally planned. There was going to be 3 to 4 different stages of the base, and I only got through 2. It was going to be considerably bigger, but I ended up getting a bit overwhelmed with how much I had to do, because unlike Honeycomb Ridge and unlike Glaciers, I had the terrain already set out. I just had to add a couple extra blocks, terraform a tiny bit, where this base, everything's on water, so I had to build everything from the ground up, and I feel I didn't give myself enough time. Either that or I took too long of a break between February, because as I said before, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth came out. I took a whole month off doing anything and just played that game, and with that I felt a very big rip in between my concentration for the base and stuff like that, so I decided to cut it down so I could actually get this base finished in time, because yeah, if I went for 3 stages, there was no way I was ever going to get this base done in time. So I'm glad that I ended up cutting it back, because I feel I would have been very stressed out trying to get this base done. But yeah, I like the end result considering that it is kind of half done to what my original plan was going to be. But I did get everything done, which I got the hippocampus done, which I was super happy about. Most things came to vision, which I also really like. Yeah, I just really like the way the place ended up turning out at the end of the day. I really do like it. One thing I do want to work on for later seasons as well is I want to change up how I do my house. And that's not necessarily saying like I want to texture houses, because I did texturing houses in Honeycomb Ridge, which was season 1. I think I want to change the shape, because as you see throughout this entire base, all of the houses kind of follow the same model. They're all circular in shape, which was 100% the plan. They all have the same style, they all have the same formula, and they feel a bit, what's the word? They feel a bit overused. By the time you built the second house, you built the house 20 times. So definitely when I start a new world, I really want to do different color houses and stuff like that and change that up a little bit that way, as well as different proportions for their houses and even different shapes and sizes. So mix circular with square, have square houses, rectangle houses, triangle houses, yeah, and not stick with the same format for every single house. yeah, I think I need to change that up a slight bit. Because, yeah, I think that's the one I really want to work on, because a lot of my houses are very formulaic, which makes sense because I'm a person, as I've said before, who likes symmetry. I like things in grid patterns. Anything that's in a pattern and looks nice, I just really, really like it. But yeah, I definitely want to change it up next season, where I want to make things more like rustic feeling and a lot more rugged and rough around the edges instead of being perfect and sleek around every corner. Go for more asymmetry and a lot more natural feeling. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with that. But one thing I do want to say before I finish off this rambly section, I really love how the hippocampus came out. I absolutely love that thing, and honestly, I'm surprised I managed to get it done as quick as I did. It only took a month, and then Final Fantasy VII came out and I had to put it on hold for a little while, but that's besides the point. But yeah, that is probably one of my favorite organic builds I've ever done. Yeah, there's certain parts that could have been fixed, but you know what? I like how it turned out. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. But I think that's pretty much everything I want to say about my base this season. So I think with that, I'm going to throw you back to past Hybrid, and so you can look at the statistics and finish off the season. Okay, so we're back. It's time to check out my favorite part of the reflection episode. Time to check the statistics. So let's see what statistics we have made. There is a lot of interesting statistics in this one. So let's go through with the general statistics for now, and let's see if there's anything remotely interesting, which I believe there is a fair amount. So what do we have going on? Distance by Elytra, 7,897 kilometers. That's a fair amount of flying. Yes, I absolutely love flying in this game. It's no secret, considering if we check the tab list next to my name, that's how many rockets I've used for most of the server life. We started this about 3 months into the actual server life, so we have 26,000 used rockets in that one. So yeah, I like flying a little bit too much. But back to statistics, let's have a nosy what else we can look at. Games quit, this is always an interesting one. 580, okay, that's not bad. Interactions with Anvil, 183, actually not a large amount. Beacons as well, 31. Yeah, I think this is the only season where I've really actually utilized beacons, purely because I made myself a with a skeleton skull farm, because I would have never farmed for that many beacons manually. Crafting table, 3,142. Wow, I do a lot of crafting in the game about crafting. Interactions with furnaces, 2,381. I don't even know how I used that many furnaces. Oh, I get it, smooth quartz. I cooked a lot of smooth quartz. I'm very interested to see my quartz count for this season. It's going to be a lot. Items drop, 34,000. Oh gosh, that's a lot of drops. Okay, fair enough. And jumps, 384,000. I don't think I checked this last season. Is that a lot of jumping? I would imagine that's a lot of jumping. Sometimes I just stand there in my base and jump around and do absolutely nothing. So yeah, that makes sense that that number is pretty huge. Mobs killed, 36,000. Okay, that makes sense. We have our Enderman farm. I spent a very long time on my skeleton farm at the start of the season, as well as my Wither skeleton farm later on. So yeah, that honestly makes sense. Players killed, 6. I don't even know who I killed. Probably Dipper. It's always a safe bet that I've killed Dipper the most. Number of deaths, this one's interesting. 38. Wow, I would have expected a lot more than that. Okay, fair enough. Apparently I didn't die too much this season. Okay, fair enough. Let's check sneak time, because I always have Swift Sneak on. 4 days. That is a fair amount. Okay. Yeah, I love Swift Sneak, and I crouch all the time when I'm building, because I'm notorious for falling off ledges. So yeah, that one makes a lot of sense. And villagers talked to, 8,592. Yeah, majority of my base is built out of quartz, so that makes a lot of sense. When I started the server, I was like, I'm not going to put so much money into like villagers. I'm going to try and have as little amount of quartz as I possibly can. Decided to build my entire house out of quartz, so that was a terrible idea. Times played, here's the interesting one. How much do we have? 41.69 days. Now, I don't know how much that is, but I think that just breaks 1,000. I'll check it on the screen now. But I would say I've spent maybe 100 hours AFK, because again, Guardian farm, Skeleton farm grinding in the early game, and also my Gunpowder farm, which I AFK'd at for a little while. So yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, take off about 100 for actual playtime. So yeah, I think that's about maybe in the thousands, maybe in the 900. Okay, let's keep going. Since last death, 5 days. Wow, haven't died recently. Okay, that makes sense. Traded with villagers, 57,000. Oh gosh. Yeah, there was so much quartz needed for my base. It was a fair amount. Okay, let's go on to items. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Let's check for my highest mine thing, and I'm going to have a guess that it's Deep Slate. No, not Deep Slate. Okay, fair enough. Oh, it nearly broke 100,000. I mine for diorite a lot, because I only just realized that villagers actually trade polished diorite. 47,000 white concrete, that makes a lot of sense. 44,000 snow, that also makes sense. This is all the nether hub. 17,000 nether quartz. Wow, okay, yeah, sometimes I just went manual quartz hunting. It's not the fastest method, but it is a method nonetheless. So yeah, when I got bored trading with villagers, I just decided to mine some. 9,000 warp stem. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, let's try and find get my ancient debris, because this is the interesting number. I have to scroll down just a tiny bit. Oh, here's another interesting one. 1,100 deep slate diamond ore. Yeah, I need a lot of diamond to duplicate all of those armor trims. It was a fair amount. Here we go, ancient debris. 379 ancient debris. Oh boy, that's a lot of nether tunneling. I hate ancient debris hunting, and trust me, after this season, I'm never doing it again, because it took so long. It was kind of brainless at a point, which I enjoyed, but sometimes it just took way too long. Okay, times broken. Yeah, I break a lot of shears. Nothing really interesting with this one. Times crafted. Oh, rocket. 32,000. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I fly everywhere. The snow blocks, which was 11,000. Where's white concrete? Is white concrete? Oh, blocks of quartz, 31,000. White concrete powder, 35,000. Okay, yeah, that's pretty interesting. What about times used? Okay, so it makes sense that my top pick is a netherite pickaxe. 392,000. Yeah, that's a lot of uses. And 29,000 is the real statistic for my fireworks. Oh, I could have broken 30,000. Ah, that's a shame. Okay, so got that one done, picked up. Yeah, not massively interesting. Prismarine shard makes a lot of sense. I spent a long time at that guardian farm, and then times what dropped? Oh yeah, I needed to burn a lot of these because again, my guardian farm's a little bit too powerful. Okay, moving on to mobs. Let's see what things have killed me and what I have killed. Bogged, 121. Honestly, all of that was all in the trial chamber, so I was in there for a long time. 15 Elder Guardians. Yeah, I had to hunt for that armor trim for a fair while. They just did not want to drop it for me. Enderman, now this one's interesting. 24,000. Yeah, we love the Enderman farm. It comes in so handy. Foxes! What have I done? When did I kill 8 foxes? Oh my god, I'm a horrible person. 91 ghast. Okay. I've never killed that many ghast. Oh yes, I was building my wither skeleton farm and there were ghasts everywhere. That makes sense. Okay, yeah, that one's understandable. Magma cubes. Oh gosh. Yeah, I know why this one's big. When I was trying to dig out the nether hub, they just kept spawning over and over again. So the 2,000 makes a lot of sense. Piglin brute. I've killed 8 of them and I got killed by 2. They killed me twice. Yes, that was a very, very shameful day nonetheless. I got absolutely decimated by those guys. I'm never going back into a bastion. That place is too scary. Oh, shulkers. 134. That one makes sense. I did shulker hunt for a fair while. Skeleton, 2,916. This is all early day grinding for me. Yeah, my skeleton farm always comes in handy at the very start of the season. And withers, 56 withers. Yeah, we love the beacon farm. It comes in so handy. Wither skeletons, 3,596. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Anything else? No, not really. I was killed by a player 7 times. Yeah, that one makes a lot of sense. Okay, so that was me running through all my statistics for the season, and honestly, I got a lot of things done this season. But with that being said, this is the final episode, and now the only thing I need to do now is say goodbye to this server and drop off my inventory. And the last thing I need to do is place down my armor. I have all of my inventory here and all of my ender chest in here as well. And I gotta say, it feels slightly bittersweet to say goodbye to this place. I have spent so many hours in this server and it's officially time to say goodbye. So I think the best way to say goodbye to this place is taking a boat to a new land. So let's head on over to the docks and say goodbye for the final time. Okay, so here we are at the final send-off of my base, and I gotta say, this season has been a lot of fun. There's been a lot of trials, a lot of tribulations, and an absolute ton of grinding. So, now it's time for me to have a relaxing vacation on my boat and find bigger and brighter lands. So yes, this is the final send-off of Blocks Season 2, and I gotta say, thank you everybody for coming along on this trip. It's been a good time. So I hope to see you guys again in another journey in a new land. But when that's going to happen, we're just going to have to wait and see. But yes, I think with that, I'm gonna leave this episode here. If you guys like the video, give the video a thumbs up and maybe subscribe if you want to stick around. All good, I'll see you guys next time. See ya!